probably take about 5 or 10 minutes to run you through the basics, the questions that you have asked about how do we answer and things like that. So those are things that we want you to run through. So basic housekeeping, use the chat box, don't use the question and answer box. And when you are using the chat box to answer, please select only panelists to send your answer, because otherwise everybody will be able to see it. That's not what you want. Only panelist means it will be just me and Jayant who will get to see it to evaluate your answer. Audio and video will be muted, like we said, during the questions, but we will allow you your shot at coming on audio and video if you want as we move along in terms of round of the quiz. Another key aspect that we will need to run through is that to make sure, oops, looks like we are slightly stuck on the slideshow. One moment. Yeah, for the sake of keeping track of your scores and your names and things like that, it's absolutely crucial that you please use your own names. I think so far all the attendees I have checked are using their own names. So make sure that it's your name so that we can track onto the score sheet, because it's the name that you registered for the quiz with. So like I said, you are looking at the chat button. That is where you are going to be doing the answering, but we'll also be allowing some answers on audio as well. The Q&A part you can ignore for the time being, because this is not a typical webinar. We are not doing a separate Q&A. Obviously, the entire quiz is the Q&A. Okay, quick test for audio and video.
Go person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Can anybody repeat that? If you heard it, send us on the chat to confirm that you heard it, because there will be questions which include audio and video. Jayant, if you can check on the chat if people are confirming.
Yes, people are confirming.
Okay. Yeah, great. Everybody is confirming. It's a difficult cognitive test, says Maitri. It is a difficult cognitive test, so congratulations on passing it. But yes, there will be some questions which will involve looking at audio and video, or hearing audio and looking at video. So we definitely want you to be sure that this you are receiving audio and video. Okay, now the key part, the important rules. Every question will be live for 30 seconds. The moment it is asked, and then a countdown will start like we used to do on Instagram. In the first 30 seconds after the question is asked, that is, we finish the question, you have the chance to pounce, which means you can send the answer to the question on the chat. When you send the answer on the chat, please make sure you're sending it only to the panelists. We'll of course know who's sending the answer, and whichever is coming within the 30-second window we will be taking, and if those answers are correct, we will be marking them on the score sheet. So that means that it's absolutely mandatory that it has to come within the 30 seconds. When Jayant is asking questions, I'll be keeping time and looking at the questions. When I'm asking questions, Jayant will be doing the same. The important point to note is that the moment the 30 seconds are up on the chat, one of us, the panelists, whoever is in charge of the scoring at that point of time, will send you a message saying pounds closed, which means this time period is over. But that doesn't mean your chance to answer is not over. If you miss out on the pounds, that's okay. Just raise your hand and we'll try to come to as many people as possible. And that's where we'll allow you audio to give your answer over on the audio. That could be an answer, it could be a creative guess, it could be anything, but you will have the chance to speak while we check in on the questions and make sure the score is done. And even when the answer is revealed, after that you can chime in with your fun facts, creative takes, whatever is it that you were doing on Instagram, but even more so. Lastly, the point system is fairly simple. Every question is worth 10 points, whether you answer it on the bounce or you answer it later on the audio. The only thing is that later on the audio, we can only take one answer. So whoever we pick as the first will have to give the answer. It's not a perfect system, but unfortunately, we'll have to kind of work around with that system. Okay, so those are the rules. Let me get on to the main presentation. Jayant will be taking you through the first round. I will take another minute to run you through the basics of the quiz. Just a moment. Yeah, you can earn these badges throughout the quiz. So the Creative Town you are already familiar with. If you answer very quickly or consistently answer very quickly, you will have a badge called Quick Draw. If your answer is among the rare answers that are correct and not everybody has got it, and you are among the few who has got it right, you get the Shalimar badge, named of course after the iconic Hindi movie. And if you get an amusing answer, if you give a creative answer, you will get the noise badge, which is for anything that amuses us. Direct answer as message, Bhargavi is asking, as in message to the panelists. Yes, Bhargavi, direct message to the panelists. That is all. And the 5-star streak is if you get 5 answers in a row right, we will be looking at the 5-star streak as a badge. Okay.
Krupa already has a crown in the chat.
So it is going to be quite a fight on the crowd, and because there are a lot more people today, I think 20 plus people already in there, so should be interesting. All right, moving on. Jen, just try moving to the next slide. Okay. So this is the warm-up question. We're going to just try out, if you want to try out how to answer or how to answer in the chat, etc. So this is a question we've used in a quiz earlier, but we're just going to use it now just to explain to you how these things work. So yes, I'm seeing a lot of answers coming in. Ankur, Tejas, Savitri, Krupa says Oompa Loompas. Good one, Krupa. So again, people who are sending, for example, Diksha, you have sent the message to all panelists and all attendees. That should not be the case unless it's a creative answer or any other chat you want to do. If you're sending an actual answer during the pounce, it's got to be sent on the chat. And you will receive a message like this the moment the 30 seconds are up, which means that if your answer comes in after this, then we will not be able to count those answers. I'll only count the ones that I can see in the top of the chat before that question. So that's the only thing that you will have to adjust for. But there are a lot of questions, and this is a very wide quiz in a sense. So I think you will have enough and more chances to get an answer. There are 16 questions, Anirudh. Anirudh is asking how many questions. Common questions you can leave on the common chat as well, not just the panelists. And as usual, the creative answers and all that, if you want to share, definitely feel free and go ahead and share there. Okay. Jayant, try again for the next slide. We'll have to, okay. Right, so 4 rounds, and as you can see, we are subtly hiding some of our favorite economics books among these slides as well, just for your reference.
Chubby is here.
Oh, Chubby is here. Okay, so we can do the Chubby cam as well at some point or the other, which we definitely shall. So the first round is called information asymmetry. There is some missing piece of information that you'll have to answer about. Those are the questions Jayant is going to ask to begin with. The second round is called everything I ever needed to know about economics I learned by watching TV, which is questions based on TV shows, etc. The intermission will be Chubby Cam. Yes, Krupa. Ritvik, yes, Ritvik, we got your response. Don't worry. Anything you send on the chat, we'll be receiving it. It was before the pounds closed as well, so no worries there. The third round is called Nomics, so audio and visual questions, mix of those. In the TV round as well, there are some visual questions. I think all of them are visual. And finally, a round called the Undercover Economist, where there will be questions about hidden economics of things. Okay, Srinidhi has joined in as well. Srinidhi, glad you could join us. Srinidhi was initially not sure if she'll be able to make it, so fantastic. Great to see. There are, I think, 21 attendees. So excellent. I think we had close to about 35 registrations, but nonetheless, this is a great turnout. Okay. Jayant, I think we are ready to begin the quiz. Exactly on time. It is 9:15. Just check if your remote control is working.
1 second.
Yeah.
It goes back to the same.
Okay, just 1 second. I'll just get that sorted out. Just one moment. So we're going to move on to straight away the first question the moment Jayant takes over. And that will be the round called information asymmetry. Just sharing the screen again, Jayant, and from there you can take in terms of the remote control access. I'm giving the keyboard access to you. You can move on to show mode and move on to the question.
Yeah. Okay, the first question is this. What discipline does Philip Kotler say is the original behavioral economics? So Philip Kotler, everyone would have read by this time, who has passed through the degree. So Philip Kotler says dash is original behavioral economics, and your time starts now.
Okay, I think you should move back to the slide, Jayant, the previous one.
It's going too fast in terms of.
I think use the keyboard, don't use the mouse.
Okay, cool. So time is up.
Just send the pounds closed message, please. I'm not able to send it from here.
So we will not take any answers from now. So
yeah, I'm just stopping the presentation here for a moment.
Yeah. So almost most of them got it right.
Yeah, I think we'll mostly give a pass to everybody on this one. Apologies about the goof up there. So I think this should be good with everybody. Unfair if we kind of don't. So in this case, it's almost like a second trial question that practically everybody got right.
Grace marks to everyone.
Jayant, you can go on to the answer part and maybe just elaborate on the answer quickly.
The slide has gone. I mean, I'm not able to see the slide.
Sorry. Here you go. Yeah, giving you the access, go ahead.
Yeah.
Srinidhi says, nice slides. Thanks, Srinidhi.
So marketing is the correct answer, which is most of them got it. So the field of marketing has been classifying and explaining the great. Oh, I think it's better you operate. Somehow it's moving. The slides are moving.
The remote control is...
I think you operate from your end.
Okay. All right. So just moving on to... Yeah. Keep going, Jayant. Just let me know when you want to ask the next question.
Next question.
All right. So moving on to next question, people.
Yeah. Who once wrote this in 2007 letter? If far-sighted capitalist had been present at a kitty bar, he would have done his successor a huge favor by shooting Orwell down, because he found investment in airlines to be a terrible proposition. So which famous personality are we talking about?
And your time will be counting down right below, after which I will stop the share.
Yeah. So Krupa is giving creative answer, whoever has the ship.
Oh, creative answers you can read straight out, Jayant, I think. If anybody is providing a creative answer, we can read straight out before the timer runs out as well.
Someone gave a Wright brothers. That's also nice. Okay.
The Wright brothers themselves. So the Pounce is closed. Anybody who hasn't answered in the meantime can try. So Jayant, you can look for getting maybe an audio answer from them while I go through.
You can just raise your hand. Anyone who wants to. Okay. Here you go, Clive. You're live. You're unmuted.
I think I'll just unmute Clive.
Yeah. Yes,
hey,
Clive.
Yeah, so basically I read this recently about and during the whole coronavirus pandemic. So basically he was talking about how all these airline industries are going to suffer. So I read this quote over there at that point. So this is from where I remember the quote.
So the question is, who was it?
Warren Buffett.
Is the right answer. Well done.
Yes.
Yeah.
So guys, I think you guys should get introduced to Clive. Clive is one of our people joining from abroad. Clive is joining in from the UAE. So everybody say hello to Clive, our international participant.
Hi guys.
Great to have you on the quiz, Clive.
Yeah, thanks. Finally. Yeah.
So basically Buffett has a very love-hate relationship when it comes to airlines, wherein entire his investment career he never invested in it, and around 3 years ago he invested in the airlines, and he bought all the 4 airlines and he sold it during the March meltdown. So basically the never lose money wala quote, and also buying few companies, he went against his own rules. So that's Buffett for you, and he can get away because he is $80 billion and so rich. So
Jayant, just confirming, this is Clive's got the right answer, and all the other names that I can see here. So I'm just sorting these out in the meantime.
Yeah. Yes, Gopi has got the answer, is it? Yes, Gopi, you have given the answer.
Yeah, we'll just check if there is any which was after Pounds closed. I think Jatin's is the last answer we can take. Soumya's slide got removed right at the right time, so no, you will not get the luxury of the Insta quiz here. This will be slightly tougher conditions, so I'm afraid that's how it's going to be. So yes, Jatin's right.
So Jatin was the last one. After that, whatever answers. Someone has given a very nice answer. Diksha has given Vijay Mallya. If only Vijay Mallya knew this.
I think Savitri, Ankur, Bhargavi, yes, all correct. Savitri, Ankur, and Bhargavi. Yeah. Have gotten everybody on the scoreboard. So we can move on to the next question. So please remember, the share will stop as soon as the timer is over. So please be mindful of that, because it's otherwise kind of difficult to keep track. Okay. Moving on to the next question. So Jayant, whenever you are ready. Ready for the next?
Yes, please
Okay.
go on.
So that was, of course, Warren Buffett. And here we go to the next one.
So this material is considered one of the most recycled and most recyclable materials on the planet. Nearly 75% of this material produced in US is still in use today, according to an industry group. What common materials are we talking about? So it is used in everyday, day-to-day life everywhere. And so nice. All kinds of creative answers are coming.
Okay. And please remember, everybody, once this thing gets to the right to the end, we will be stopping the share and closing the pumps. This is exactly 30 seconds. And of course, you get the time the question is being read out as well.
Cool, pounds closes.
And the pounds closes now. So
Diksha has a good answer. Cow dung.
please, I think Jayant, I'd recommend read out some of the answers. I'm not sure if everybody.
So Archana got it right. Tejas got it right. Rest everyone gave good creative answers. So one of the good answers, creative answer we got is Starbucks cup. Then steel is the most common answer. Then toilet paper, Srinidhi gave toilet paper. Then glass, Krupa and Snail gave glass. Yes, paper, steel, water, rubber bands, books. Yes.
I think Roy is correct as well.
Yes.
Roy's got it right and ahead of time as well. So Roy, well done. Anybody who's raised hands, Jayant, you can unmute and maybe get them on in the meantime.
I saw one hand going up. Jatin, I suppose. But
Oh, you can go to Jatin, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I did it by mistake. Sorry, guys.
Not a
Oh,
problem.
no worries, Jatin, but if you have anything to say about aluminum in particular, or
Yeah,
just
it's just that I'm really surprised that steel is not the most recycled material. Learning something new every day, I guess.
Okay, fantastic. Good to have you here, and great to know that you are learning something new. Okay, we will be moving on to the next question, people. So this is, of course, this was aluminum, and I'm going to go back to the presentation. Jayant, are we ready to move on to the next question?
Yes, please.
Okay, so we'll just quickly reveal the answer on this one and move to the next. Yes, so incidentally.
All right.
Okay, all right. Next question, gents. Here it is. You can read it out for them.
So Dash and Les Miserable did not spring from an imagination of their authors anymore than did laws limiting a child labor in factories to children older than 8 in France 1841 or 10 in mines in Britain 1842. What famous Dickensian character did Thomas Piketty referred in his book Capital in 21st Century? Yes, answers are coming in. Nice. Moby Dick. Nice.
Moby Dick is a good answer, but Dickensian? Don't think so.
Kamlesh itself.
Yes, of course, the famous Charles Dickens novel called Kamlesh.
Sheldon. Magical. And
Okay,
Pounds
we
closes.
are at the end of that. So Pounds is closed. Diksha says Mr. Nags.
Soumya says Ambani. So this.
Okay, let me check if we have gotten answers which are right. Krupa is correct.
Bhargavi is also correct. Ritvik is correct. Roy is correct.
So
Maitri is correct.
Roy gets another right answer. Bhargavi, did you say Bhargavi Jayant?
Yes, Bhargavi.
Okay, just one moment. I'm just making sure that everybody is accounted for here. Bhargavi's got it right. Who else, Jayant?
Krupa.
Yeah, Krupa I've got here. Roy has got it right. Maitri has got it right.
Ritvik.
And Ritvik has gotten it right.
Soumya Jain.
And Soumya as well. Well done, everybody.
And Tejas.
And of course, Tejas has gotten it right. Tejas is very close to getting his badge, by the way.
Yeah.
The 5-star badge. Some of you said Ebenezer Scrooge and all that. Good one. Savitri says Uguay. Very good one. Krupa says it was the magical faraway tree. I was right. Yes, you are absolutely right, Krupa. Well done on that. Snehil just put in suspenseful music in there for some reason. Okay. So we are at the end of the first round, and what I'm going to do is allow Tejas to introduce himself. Tejas is a great friend, and he has specially dressed up for the occasion. We did not know people dressed up for our quizzes and all that.
Yes.
So we just wanted Tejas to show off here. So we have promoted him as a panelist. Tejas, show us the glory of your costume.
My video is not connecting, guys. Why the hell is it not connecting?
We can come back to you later.
You cannot start your video because the host has stopped it.
I'll give him the axe.
Don't give me the axe, bro.
We will make you a co-host, and you can quickly show your video, and then we can.
So I wanted to be Deadpool, but I could not find any red to make a mask out of. So I switched to something else.
Oh,
so
nice.
This is very Daft Punk.
So kind of Daft Punk, kind of Black Noir from The Boys. Suddenly supporting a little bit of the LGBTQA plus movement with the colors. So sorry, I could not be Deadpool. Next Zoom call, I am becoming Deadpool.
All right.
So if you're Deadpool, you straight away win the quiz, by the way, Tejas. 100 points.
Then I've already won next time.
Yeah.
I can see the future, guys.
Diksha says Corona Warrior. That's a good one, Diksha.
Yeah.
This actually is my office costume, by the way. This is how I go to office and stay in office.
Meanwhile, Ritvik is saying by a mind-blowing coincidence, he finished Oliver Twist today afternoon. So good one, Ritvik. All right, we will come back to you, Tejas, in a bit. We are just withdrawing your permission for the moment. And stopping the video because we need to get back to our quiz. All right. So after the first round, I think Tejas did really well, and quite a few of you got 3 answers right. I think Roy was one of them. I think Roy got 3 answers right. Maitri got 3 answers right. Bhargavi got 3 answers right. So all of you are in the quiz. Jayant will take over for the scoring and the rest of the stuff from here on for the next round. And we are moving on to the next round, which are 4 questions that I will guide you guys through. All right. Jayant, you are good with accessing the sheet? Not a problem?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay, fantastic. All right, guys. Everybody is waiting for the next question. And Krupa, you will have to come during the intermission, so please keep Chubby on standby because you will be promoted to co-host, and we need by public demand Chubby on the quiz. Okay. So that was all about aluminum, and then of course Oliver Twist, which all of you got right, which is well done. And now we move on to the round which is called Everything I Ever Needed to Know About Economics I Learned by Watching TV. So these are questions about television sitcoms. These are questions about TV programs and hidden economics within them. So everybody get ready, and Jayant will let you know when the pounds closes this time. Jayant, you all ready?
Yes.
All right. The first question is a very simple one. Popular show. Most of you have seen it. Which character from the NBC sitcom The Office invents his own currency in one of the episodes? It's a very straightforward question. Not too many characters to write about. So your count begins, the 30-second count begins now. Time's running, lots happening on the chat.
I think the slide is moved, I suppose.
Oh, oops, sorry about that. There you go. Okay, we're about to close pounds. Just make up your minds as to which Office character this is.
Pounds closes.
Yeah, you can send in the pounds close message, Jayant.
Yeah, I've already.
All right. A lot of people are saying a lot of answers. Krupa has given a classic creative answer. She says Tyrion Lannister, definitely in the Game of Thrones world. He is the one who would have potentially done it. Okay, Jayant, while you are checking the questions, I think Bhargavi says everything I know about The Office, I learned from memes. Me too, Bhargavi. I haven't watched and rewatched the show as many times as some of the people have, and I know it mostly through the memes. Ritik is saying Ashton Kutcher. I think that's probably the 70s show. Ankur is saying I've seen the show thrice. Yes, Ankur, you are not alone. There are so many people who have done the same. And Soumya says I watched the show after watching all the memes, and that was the best decision. Yes, The Office is a great show to watch. So definitely worth watching, not just for the economics of it, but generally as well. Jayant, are we good with the?
1 second, I'm almost done.
All right. Diksha says Chota Bheem or Chutki. Chutki in the future definitely a probable one who would do it. Okay, Aryan probably has the answer, so I'm allowing Aryan to talk, to give the answer if he can. Aryan, you are on now. You can, I think we've unmuted you. Yeah, Aryan, I think you should be able to give your answer now. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm done with the score.
All right. Aryan, did you have the answer? Okay, looks like Aryan did not have the answer. So let's go to the answer. Of course, a lot of you. How many got it right, Jen? Do you have a count?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people got it right.
9 people. Oh, that's quite a few people. So
Wow.
well done on getting it right. And for those who are wondering, you are about to be introduced to one of the most legendary characters in the history of television. Because if you don't know this character, you are definitely missing out on life. Here you go. It of course is Dwight Schrute.
Listen up. Come to the center of the room, please. This is a Schrute buck. When you have done something good, you will receive 1 Schrute buck. 1,000 Schrute bucks equals an extra 5 minutes for lunch.
What is the cash value of a Schrute buck?
Excellent question, Pam. 1/100th of a cent.
So 10,000 of your dollars is worth $1 real dollar?
Just zip your lid.
All right, so I would recommend watching this episode if you can, and of course watching the show. And like a lot of you said, you've already seen the show and you've seen it multiple times. Moving on to next question. Jayant, we ready to move on to next question?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, guys.
There's a UK version also of the series if you're interested.
Yeah, but again, your sense of humor kind of has to be aligned to what the
Yes.
UK sense of humor is, because some people enjoy the American version more than the UK one. All right, next question coming up for you guys.
Listen up.
Oops. Okay. So I'll play the clip. This is somebody learning economics on a popular TV show. You just have to identify the TV show. Send us the name of the TV show.
When a small change in price creates a large change in demand, then demand is said to be elastic. But some products are inelastic, meaning a change in price does not affect demand. Some key factors that affect the elasticity of demand are what? Mr. Bell.
Desire.
Okay, so this is somebody learning elasticity of demand in a classroom, in evening school, in a very popular or talked about TV show. Just have to identify the TV show. You saw 2 main characters of the TV show here. So if you're familiar, you should be able to probably identify. Timer is running at the bottom. Ankur's raised hand. Okay, Ankur, once the timer is over, we will come to you. While Jayant is looking at the rest of the answers. So we just need the name of the TV show. It's not a complicated question.
Tararampam, yes. And the pounds closes.
And the pounds closes here. Maitri says James Bond. I think somebody said Tarak Mehta, which is a great answer. Jatin said Luther, which is a good answer. But we'll go to Ankur to see if Ankur has the answer for us. Ankur, you're unmuted. Go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I answered on the pounds. I just wanted to say that, like, when you showed me the name of the round, this scene just played through my mind, and I knew this would be there.
So you read our mind. Well done. But yes, please answer for the rest of the audience for the.
Yeah, so this is Stringer Bell from the TV show The Wire.
Yes, absolutely. And there are some great clips of Stringer Bell learning economics and applying them to his copy shop, explaining elasticity of demand. It's one of the best sequences on television. My 2 favorite moments of The Wire are this explanation of elasticity of demand, because obviously I teach economics and that's why I love it. And the second one is the explanation of chess, which comes in early in the first season. So if you guys have...
The chess scene is really good.
So clearly Ankur is a big fan of The Wire. Thank you, Ankur. And anybody else who has not seen the show, I mean, we cannot really recommend it enough. Unfortunately, Tejas's streak is broken. He's never seen the show. You should absolutely be seeing the show, Tejas. Like Maitri says, The Wire is where you can learn about economics, drug trafficking, paperwork, everything in the same breath. It is absolutely brilliant. Jatin is asking, does The Wire hold up still? It definitely does, Jatin. In fact, if I were to say, it holds up even more than it does. Probably did back then. Like in the current circumstances, it's even more prescient to watch the interplay of the socioeconomic factors and everything that is sort of happening in The Wire.
So there's a quote on this TV series which was written during the 90s. This isn't just a show about crime. This tries to show every aspect of life in a crumbling society. Well, after 2 decades, it still holds true.
Absolutely. Aryan says no spoilers. No, Aryan, no spoilers. These are Stringer Bell learning economics is not really a big spoiler as far as the Wire goes. Okay, Jayant, are we good with the scores?
Yes.
Okay. Fantastic. So we will move on to the next question. Meanwhile, Ankur is adding a fun fact. Barack Obama conducted a one-on-one discussion with the creator of The Wire. Yes, Ankur, you are absolutely right. That was David Simon, and he had a discussion with him. The Wire is one of those shows which is also great to watch even just season by season. You don't need to be necessarily watching like every season as well, because every season deals with a different thing. Okay. Question number 3 coming up from another popular show. A lot of you might be familiar with this show. The show is called Parks and Recreation. So this is a scene from one of the episodes where Rashida Jones's character comes and says, okay, so do you have the results of the study? That is Leslie Knope is asking. Amy Poehler, who plays Leslie Knope, who's part of the Parks and Recreation department in a small town in Indiana. And Rashida Jones is saying, the study, yes, they are great. Your blank soda would definitely lower diabetes. So she decides, that is Leslie Knope decides that, good, as city councillor, my first rule is going to be, I have proposed something. So what does she propose to lower diabetes? This is something which is based on real life. This has actually happened. So what exactly does Leslie Knope propose? Even if you've not seen the show, this is something you can potentially probably guess or be able to answer. You still have about 15 seconds left for the pounds to close. So a lot of time to try and guess. So the idea is to reduce the consumption of soda. What can you possibly do as a city councillor?
Yeah.
Okay, and the pounds closes here. Okay, Bhargavi, we just missed your answer. Sorry about that. Krupa says free broccoli. Krupa, I'm doubtful if even offered for free, people would be willing to take broccoli up. Ankur is saying Adam Scott. Yeah, he was absolutely brilliant there, and great creative answer. Proposes Adam Scott. Well done. Srinidhi says discounts on wine instead of soda. That's not a bad policy, Srinidhi. I'm on board with that. Tejas says I would take free broccoli. Yeah, Tejas, but then everybody does not dress up as Daft Punk for all the quizzes either. So unfortunately, it's not reflective of a larger trend. Kripa is saying broccoli is the best vegetable. Fight me. Yes, Kripa, we're not fighting you on it. We're just saying not everybody would agree. Jatin is saying this was the soda bill. Not quite the soda bill. Anybody who wants to answer can raise their hands while Jayant is working out the answers here. If you want to answer on the audio, Maitri says infamous broccoli wars of 2020 have started. Yes, they have. Okay, Krupa is raising hands. Yes. Krupa, you are unmuted, I think. Go ahead.
Is this working?
It is.
Amazing. I feel like I read something at some point about how Coca-Cola started manipulating their labels to say no artificial sugar because there was some tax on artificial sugar but not natural sugar. I'm wondering if that's related.
That is kind of related, although this is more a sneaky tactic to do exactly that. Nutrition levels and things like that were not quite working out in terms of reducing soda consumption. So that was a worry. So companies like Coke and all that were doing these sneaky underhanded tactics, which is a great point, Krupa. But I think we'll go to Jatin to try and see if we can get that exactly what is it that they did.
Was it the soda tax?
It was the soda tax.
I
Correct,
didn't write
Jatin?
it. This is so bad.
You missed out on that one. It was indeed the soda tax. So basically introduce a tax on large bottles or large servings of soda so that the price increases, and that's what kind of discourages people to not consume. So Krupa's point is kind of related. Great point, Krupa, there about these tactics these companies have, which they try to promote the soda consumption, and regulators fighting back on that. Bhargav is asking, isn't there a Patriot Act about soda and junk food and import taxes? Interesting. Don't quite remember that one. The sugar tax or the soda tax, Krupa says, makes more sense. Yes, incidentally, yeah, there was I think a Patriot Act episode about soda and junk food. Definitely worth checking it out for those who haven't watched it. And the tax, does it work or not work? If you're wondering, it incidentally actually in some experiments in places like California, Seattle, and a few other places, it actually did work. It did lower soda consumption to a bit. There are studies on it actually, which show that it did lower the consumption. So it might just work.
So I mean, US bought this in 2014, but guess which country had this in 1930?
For extra point, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will definitely be an extra point if anybody can answer. Jayant, you might want to check the chat on it.
Yeah, I'm checking. So, the 5 seconds.
I mean, you can go ahead. I think we have a couple of more rounds of the quiz to do, so we are.
Yes, Tejas got this right. Denmark introduced this. So this first country to introduce solar tax way back in 1930.
So an extra bonus point for Tejas and the Shalimar badge for Tejas, because this was definitely a rare answer. Okay, guys, moving on to next question. Jayant, are we ready to move on to next question?
Yes.
In terms of scoring?
Yes. So Tejas basically made up to the last one, which he didn't give.
the streak which he missed with the wire. So last question of this round coming up, guys. Here it is. What crisis-ridden EU member country did the Simpsons predict back in 2011 will be put by Europe on eBay? So in a stray segment where Simpsons keep hiding these little references in their shows, right? So it says Europe puts this country on eBay. So what was the name of the country? It's a very simple question that you have to answer. A lot of clues. Crisis-ridden European Union member. Not a lot of those, and maybe even the gap there gives you a little bit of an idea as to what the name of the country might be, because clearly it's a relatively short name. So we will let the timer run out here. And Jayant, we can go ahead and close the bounce. A lot of people are saying e-Brexit. Bhargavi, creative points to you for that one. The e-Brexit is a great answer. Okay. Krupa is saying the headline Simpsons predict Brexit. Yes, they have been known to predict stuff like this. So it's been rather amazing as to how they have been able to do so, including Trump running for president, most famously. But yes, you are Jayant, just let me know if once you're done with the scoring part. Meanwhile, Krupa says Chubby is dressed and ready. So Krupa, what I'm going to do is I am promoting you right up to panelist, and you can bring Chubby on, and we will be putting Chubby up as the spotlight video on here. Let's see if we can get you on or promote you to co-host. Yes, you are a co-host now. You should be able to work the video. Please go ahead and get, oh, there is Chubby. So I'm just gonna put Chubby on the spotlight. Chubby, don't run away, you're on the spotlight right now. So everybody say hello to Chubby.
Hey, Chubby.
Hi, Chubby.
And everybody please notice Chubby's little tie. Chubby has dressed up for the quiz.
Who's a good boy? Chubby is a good boy.
Jatin saying, I think we have a winner, guys. Yes, Jatin, Chubby by default is the winner of all of our quizzes.
Sorry,
Jen, just let me know once the score is updated.
Yeah, Chubby just disturbed me. Like,
lowering productivity. Krupa can confess to this, that Chubby clearly is not a great influence on productivity. Yeah, Chubby slightly camera shy, Soumya, you were right. But there he is. All right, Jan, just give us the go ahead.
Yes, I'm done.
We are good. So we'll come back to Chubby if there is. Jatin is saying vote to get Chubby on Instagram. Jatin, Chubby is already on Instagram. The account is called Chubby for Science. Somebody just type it onto the webinar chat and send it to Jatin so that he can follow Chubby and Chubby's adventures on Instagram. Okay, so of course, Jan's gotten the answers out there, and I will quickly give you the answer before we hand it over to Jayant for the next round of the quiz. As a lot of you got it right, the country, of course, was the country of Greece. Europe puts Greece on eBay. This episode aired, I think, in 2010 or 2011, and 2012 is when Greece had that debt crisis, and they had to take emergency loans, etc.
11, I think 11 the episode came, I think.
The episode was in 2011. Okay. So taking Chubby out of the spotlight for now. Sorry about that, Chubby. But we shall come back. We shall come back to you very, very soon. I unfortunately have to stop the video. Please don't hate me for this. We just have to go ahead with the rest of the quiz. So the next round is going to be AV Nomics, audio visuals. So we'll be playing the audio. Jayant will be giving you the question, and then you have to give us the answer.
Naveen, put the answers in chat, not in Q&A.
Yes, I don't think anybody is putting any answers in Q&A at all. So I don't think that's a problem. Has anybody else put question?
Naveen just put that for the previous one.
Okay. But otherwise, I think you should take Naveen's answer if it came in time for the scoring. Otherwise,
yeah, I have.
Okay, fantastic. All right, Chubby shall be back later on if there is enough public demand. But we have to move on with the quiz, so we are moving on with the quiz. This is Avinomics. Jayant, please go ahead and take over. Let me know when to move to the question.
Yes, you can. Yeah, I'm ready. You can.
All right, here we go. Just a second, guys. Sorry, we're having slight issues with the PowerPoint presentation for some reason. Nonetheless, this is a sound round, so please listen in. Make sure that your headphones are on. Okay.
Yes, please play. So
just identify. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, question is identify who is being talked about in the sound clip, and the sound clip will be played now.
Ended his budget speech of 91-92 with a quote from French novelist Victor Hugo. No power on earth can stop an idea whose time has come. He then went on to conclude with the declaration, let the whole world hear it loud and clear. India is now wide awake. We shall prevail. We shall overcome.
Yeah, Jayant, you can give them any other cues if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, the speech has been celebrated as 29th anniversary year yesterday, and it totally changed the dynamics of Indian economy. So this should be good enough in terms of.
I think I should expect like a lot of answers to come in right now.
Yes.
Okay, Pounce is closed, folks. Okay, this is question number 9, of course.
So creative answer, Diksha gave Sushma Swaraj. And Jatin said it's PV Narasimha Rao. Unfortunately, it was. Ritvik says Modi ji. Yes, that's 29 years ago.
Archana, Anirudh, Tejas have got it right.
Tejas also has given a shot for creative answers. Sadhvi Pragya. Yes, Tejas, I'll give that as a creative answer.
Can you, Jayant, can you just check if there is any other answers beyond that? I got Soumya's answer. I have got Soumya, Ankur, Naveen, Roy, all correct.
Bhargavi, Maitri, Savitri.
Okay. Bhargavi, Maitri, we have got. We've got Naveen. We got Roy as well, who was right, and we got Savitri as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Ankur, Soumya.
Ankur and Soumya I got already.
Oh, cool.
Okay. So yeah, you can move ahead in terms of giving the answer and moving on to the next question, perhaps.
So you can share the slides, I suppose. So the answer, of course, is Dr. Manmohan Singh, the great 1991 speech which he gave under the leadership of PV Narasimha Rao. So due credit to Narasimha Rao also is due. He brought in Manmohan Singh, former governor, to come and become the finance minister, and he gave him all the freedom. So this is what. So this is from my Insta. So basically, capital controls, compulsory license, import restriction, everything was just burned that day, and India took pivoted in a very 360 degree in terms of the old economic policies what we were, and whatever we are in terms of liberalization, credit goes to these two gentlemen in terms of economics. Yeah.
Okay. Fabulous. Jayant, we ready to move to the next question? If
yes.
We have your go ahead. All right. You can set up the question. I'll play the clip.
Yeah. So this is basically the famous tax rant which all the corporate rich guys who nicely share up on all the platforms to say that, see, this is how the leader has to be in terms of taxation and all. So which famous personality gave this tax rant? Just identify the person in the speech.
Just 1 second.
You don't grow richer by ordering another checkbook from the bank. And no nation ever grew more prosperous by taxing its citizens beyond their capacity to pay.
So Krupa gets Mary Poppins in.
Creative points for that, Krupa. Well done.
Yeah. So a lot of answers.
Although I think Mary Poppins would not be a low tax person. I have a feeling Mary Poppins' economics will be more on the slightly higher tax Scandinavian countryside.
Yes. And the pounds closes.
Okay, folks, pounds is closed here. Okay, Diksha is saying Nirmala Sitharaman. Diksha is absolutely killing it with the contemporary references. Krupa says, no, I take it back. Hermione Granger. That's a good one. Srinidhi says, Stephen Hyde from That 70s Show. Or maybe, you know, Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation, if you know that reference.
Soumya says Mamata Banerjee.
Well, that's a good accent she's got there then.
Yeah.
Okay, Jayant, can you quickly run me through the answers, the ones that you've gotten right?
So, 1 second.
Archana, I think, has got it right. Naveen has got it right as well.
Archana, Sumit, Ritvik, Maitri, Naveen, then Savitri, Anirudh.
1 second, so I have to get Sumit and Savitri as well, right?
Yeah.
And we got Anirudh as well.
Yes.
And you said Maitri. Yes, Maitri I've got.
Tejas.
And of course, Tejas. All right. Just ensuring that I haven't missed out on anybody who's given the right answer. Anybody who wants to give the right answer on audio can raise their hand.
Soumya has given 2 answers, so we can't take Hillary Clinton or Thatcher.
Okay, Soumya, you got the accent a little off there. You should have gone with your instinct in terms of the accent. Gandalf the White says Tejas. Dolores Umbridge. And Krupa is saying, I'm hoping to do some good in the world, Hermione Granger. Krupa, would you want to explain why you think Hermione Granger might be supporting lower taxes actually? We'll allow you the chance to give us your theory.
I mean, she's for house elf rights, you know, standing up for the little guy.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. In fact, that makes a lot of sense that Hermione Granger might support small government and lower taxes. Ritvik says, I fluked it. Cue her famous meme walk. Yeah, the meme walk was Theresa May's actually. Savitri says, I can't believe I was right. I was aiming for the creative. Well, sometimes things just... Ankur is asking an important question. Was there tax in the wizarding world though? That's a good question, Ankur. And that's a question maybe we will explore in one of our posts perhaps sometime on Instagram. We do a lot of Harry Potter economics. So maybe we'll talk about that.
Krupa has already given a reference. So please do visit our Economist blog. We have written about wizard.
Thanks, Krupa. You are very kind. Okay, we're going on to the next one. So this, of course, was Mrs. Thatcher, played by Meryl Streep in that famous movie. Jayant, whenever you are ready for the next question.
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
So identify the voice proposing a landmark budget proposal in post-liberalization India. So this is after Manmohan Singh's great budget. So identify this famous gentleman.
Corporates should be encouraged to undertake new investments. Hence, I propose to reduce the tax rate applicable to both domestic and foreign companies. Here again, I have received wise counsel. The rate for domestic companies will now be 35% and for foreign companies, 48%. The reduction in the corporate rates, apart from better compliance, should impart an added momentum to the growth process, create multiplier beneficial effects all around, and also attract greater foreign investment.
Okay, so send in your answer, people, or answers. You have about 20 seconds remaining, so enough time to put your answers in.
Prakash Javadkar.
The hint is it was a dream come true for corporate. So this is an oblique hint that we have put in, which might help you if you kind of know a little bit of the history of this. Okay, gonna stop the share. Gonna jump straight into pounds closing. Anybody wants to go on it without the pounds? Somebody think Amit Shah. That's a good one.
I don't know which budget you guys are talking about. Sharp budget.
This is the secret one, Jayant.
Okay.
Yes, anybody wants to answer it on the audio can raise their hand.
Probably there is a fund manager in one of the attendees. Navin, do you want to talk?
We can let Navin chat while I get the answers.
Yeah, I was just guessing actually. I thought it was Chidambaram, though I really believe that one chap who did a fantastic job with cutting tax rates from, even for individuals, from 60 to 40% and collecting 50% more than anyone was VP Singh.
Yes. So guys, say hi to Navin Fernandez. Is a former trader, fund manager, now retired prof who teaches in Christ. So welcome to the quiz, Navin.
Hey guys.
And thank you for making it here, Navin. Really a great pleasure to host all of you.
Hey, lovely being here. I'm on the EMI option now. Jen suggested.
Yeah, we know that, Navin.
So if you are wondering what the joke was, Navin initially did not want to come for the quiz because he felt the cost of the quiz was too much. How would he ever manage to pay for the ticket? And then Jan suggested that why don't you pay in EMIs?
Yeah, and also we told him I'll also propose him the next big stock. So that is why he's here. Stock.
And Krupa is saying refraining from audio for fear of going on EIA but activism never stops. Yes, absolutely, Krupa, it does not, and we should continue.
Should not, yeah.
Krupa, if some of you guys are new to this, she is a part of the Fridays for Future in Karnataka, a website which has been in the eye of a storm because the government actually suspended the website when they tried to voice their dissent against the draft EIA proposal. So she has been tirelessly working on it along with other friends of hers. Worth checking out if you guys are into environmental activism or just want to do your bit on those terms. Okay, Jayant, we're ready to move on to the next question on this one. This will be the last question of the round. Okay, everybody ready? Just gonna quickly move on to this one. You guys were absolutely right. The P. Chidambaram and the 97 budget was called the dream budget for that cut. Okay, Jayant, next question.
So P stands for Paliyappan, by the way, in the P. Chidambaram. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay.
So this piece of real estate was worth more than the entire state of California during the height of this country's 1980s economic boom. Identify this place in the picture. Can we give the country's name as a thing? I mean, they have to give.
No, they have to guess. No, I think has to be the place.
Okay, you have to give the exact place. So
yeah.
Which place are?
No clues, we are afraid.
Yeah.
Because it's the serious part of the quiz now.
Oh, Naveen.
Okay, Pounce is closing, people. Bhargavi is saying Shangri-La. That's a terrific answer. Krupa is saying place where Naruto does his training. Another terrific answer.
I think,
but I think Archana, Maitri.
Only 2 guys have got it right.
No. I think quite a few have. Just cross check with me, please. Archana has got it right. Clive has got it right. Maitri has got it right. Naveen has gotten it right as well.
Yeah, Archana has got it right.
Yeah, I've got Archana. Just ensure that we are through with all the answers.
And they just gave after the pounds close.
Yeah, so tough luck there. They just
yeah. Anirudh has raised a hand, so I'll allow him to talk. By the meantime, you can cross check.
Sure. I'll cross check the score in the meantime.
Yeah, Anirudh, you can.
I think I mistakenly wrote. I was on the country was Japan. I think it's the Imperial Palace, the palace where the king stays. The emperor.
Yes. Ankur, what did you say in the chat? I think you said, sorry, Anirudh, you said Japanese emperor. I think we'll give it to you.
Yeah.
We'll give you the points.
Thank you.
Yeah. So this is
Anirudh.
Yeah.
Yes, Anirudh.
No, I think Anirudh's already done. So he's given the answer.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I got that. So,
cool. So we have
hand raise option. Tejas, if you're joining in from the phone, it should be visible at the bottom of your bar or on the more. So
there is 3 dots in the phone. Bottom right, 3 dots. You
I
have to
think.
click on that if you use it.
No. I think because Tejas came on the video. So these are the perks of this is what you have to give up for being on the video, Tejas. That you were made as co-host. So I think so you are not a host at the moment, so I don't think that should be a problem. But yeah, you were upgraded to the panelist. So yeah, that was the case. But yes, as the answer was already given, Jayant, do you want to elaborate a little bit on this particular fact about the Imperial Palace?
So the height of the bubble was so big that this palace, which is in the 2-kilometer range, was worth more than the entire state of California put together. So that's how big a bubble the Japanese stock market real estate was at the end of 80s, early 90s.
Okay, so that brings us to the end of this round. We have just one more round to go, and the quiz looks like it's a really tight fight out here at the moment. I think we have 2 or 3 people on 9, a couple of people on 6s and 7s, so things can dramatically change in the final round as well. Jayant, will you take over the final round in terms of the scoring while I move on with the questions?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right. Krupa says Chubby Cam is particularly zen right now. So to calm everybody down just before the final round begins and the final showdown begins, Krupa, please go ahead, putting you on spotlight for Chubby Cam. So there you go. Jon Stewart, during his time at the Daily Show, used to have a segment called your moment of Zen. So this is our moment of Zen for tonight's quiz as we move on to the final round. All right, moving out of Chubby Cam now. Again, as much as it breaks my heart, unfortunately, we have to do that because we have a quiz to finish and 4 more interesting questions to go. Okay, the last round is called the Undercover Economist, as you probably remember. And as you probably also remember, it's person, man, woman, camera, and TV. Okay. Jayant, are you ready? Shall I move on with the next round?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Moving on to the next round, the final round that is called the Undercover Economist. This is questions that have some kind of hidden economics connection. The rules are the same. Just type in and send in your answers as soon as you can figure out what it probably is. Here is the first question. Birth control seems to have been practiced by the upper classes all through history, which is one of the reasons why the rich got richer and the poor got blank. So this is from a book by Robert Heilbronner called The Worldly Philosophers. And he was explaining why there is a class divide and why is one of the problems as to why the poor kind of stay poor. So he had this twist on this old statement you may have heard, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. So instead he put something else. The hints are all there in the quote. Birth control seems to have been practiced by the upper classes all through history. So, you know, there was a bit of a class divide in terms of access to birth control. Or the ability to follow it. So the rich got richer and the poor got what? Okay, answers absolutely flying in.
Slim.
The poor got slim. That's not a bad one. Whoever's given that, some creativity points to you.
Ritvik gave that.
Nice one, Ritvik.
More mouths to feed, creative X.
And last 5 seconds, we are closing pounds now.
Let's see. So.
Okay.
So basically, no one gave correct answer on this. Everyone gave creative.
So a slightly tough one. Clive has said more mouths to feed. That's a pretty close one. In fact, we'll allow Clive on this one. Clive, do you want to elaborate a little bit on that question that you have on the answer that you have given? We are unmuting you.
Yeah. So basically, this was just a guess because more mouths to feed makes more sense because at that time, if I remember, birth control was not easily accessible to the poor because it was more of something easily accessible to the rich at the time. And even though there was an attempt made to get more people on board, it was one thing which was done less for the rich people.
So just to nudge you to the answer, more mouths to feed, because what was the reason for that? Who are these more mouths to feed? Because that will give you the answer.
I think the kids.
Yes, you are absolutely right. I think we should give Clive the answer on this one. And Clive, you also get the Shalimar badge for this because this was something the others did not get. The actual quote was that this is why the rich get richer and the poor get children. When I was reading the book, I laughed for 2 minutes straight before I picked it up and started reading again when I reached this part. And this was one of those, to use a patented phrase from Ryan, our good friend at Shell Comics, haha cries moment of the lot. So thank you, Clive. Good answer.
Yeah.
And moving on to the next, Savitri said the poor got pregnant is way better. Yes, Savitri, but I guess Ankur said, Ankur said pregnant or babies. Yes, acceptable, Ankur. Just cross-check that one, Jayant. We should give Ankur the score as well.
1 second.
Just go back on the chat and just cross-check once. Krupa says the poor got crushing student debt. Am I right here? Absolutely, Krupa. That's one of the sad bits, that to get an education, which is the one way to get to
yes, Ankur has given pregnant and babies. So we will
fair enough. Babies and any reference like that is fine. So the Shalimar badge goes to you also, Ankur. Good one there.
Bhargavi says pregnant.
No, it had to be children or babies. So we have to be a little strict on that. Sorry about that, Bhargavi, as well as Maitri, but good thinking and good guesses on those. Okay, so we'll move on to the next question. Jayant, are we okay with the score? I think in this one we did not have to do much anyway.
Yeah, only 2 people. Yeah.
Okay. So, of course, the answer was
Mikey says no country for I.
But nonetheless, this is a book that I would highly recommend. Please read it. Came out quite a long time ago, but very, very relevant even if you read it till this day. Okay, next question coming up on this round. This famous advertising slogan is considered responsible for single-handedly increasing the demand for diamonds, which was later adopted as the company tagline. So what was this famous advertising tagline? So as you can see in these graphs, this was share of brides receiving diamond engagement rings in America was very low, around 10-20%. And when the ad it was introduced about 1947 or so, 1937, sorry, as you can see, it has risen now to almost 80%. In Japan, they did something similar in the 70s and it shot up straight away. So what was this famous advertising slogan? We are looking for the slogan. The product is obvious. It's diamond, or more specifically, diamond engagement rings. So what was this item? Pounds closing in 5 seconds. And that is pounds closed.
So I would require more time because more answers. Please, you engage with it.
All right, but you've closed the pounds, right? All right. Anybody with any creative answers? Jatin says one ring to rule them all. Good one, Jatin. Bhargavi says like coal, but harder. I'm not sure how great a sell that was. This is exactly like coal, but harder. Srinidhi says my precious, nice one. Ritik says diamond biscuit. Like coal but harder is a great line. Yes, I agree, Clive. that's a superb line. Tejas says modified graphite. Yes, that's way to undersell. That's one way to undersell the diamonds. Archana says if you like it, you should have put a ring on it. Yes, Beyonce may have been responsible for some of the late surge. You are right, Archana. Naveen says harder should sell if we say that the material is harder. Jatin says Diksha says don't cry for a diamond. Good one, Diksha. Savitri is quoting lyrics to don't really want a white horse and a carriage. I'm thinking more white watches and carrots. Yes, absolutely. Krupa is calling back to her student debt point that diamonds can help you pay for college. Yes, Krupa, they can, but the question is how to acquire them in the first place. They're just suitable for work. We have noted this event as family friendly on Paytm Insider. We don't want to get kicked out of there because of this. So control, Tejas.
Control.
Ankur is saying both hard. Good one, Ankur. But yes, Jayant, are we good with in terms of the answers?
Other 15 seconds, I'll be done.
Okay. Anybody who wants to give the answer on the audio can raise hands. We can allow you to talk. Okay, I can see somebody who's raised hands. I'm just cross-checking who this is. Oh, there are 2 raised hands. So I'll try and see if I can get somebody in who is not given an answer from earlier. I'm just going to allow Jatin to give it, and then maybe I'll get in Clive. Jatin, go ahead.
Wasn't diamonds are forever?
Yeah, acceptable answer. Jayant, we are accepting diamonds are forever, right?
Shit, I didn't write that.
So,
who is this?
This is Jatin.
Jatin, is it?
Jatin, yeah. I think Jatin should get the answer. It was basically a diamond is forever or diamonds are forever also acceptable because that's what De Beers accepted as their company line. Clive, go ahead. You had something to say. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, because this was part of the marketing.
Yes, you have already given.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, go ahead, Clive.
Yeah, this was part of the marketing campaign for the De Beers Diamond Company, as you said. So basically, the idea was that they would get people to spend 2 months of salary at the time on diamonds. So they would get like, when you're putting so much investment, then your diamonds have to be forever. So that was the thinking, that diamonds are always forever, and it's like a worthwhile investment as well. So that is why the whole diamond demand went up at the time.
That's a very good explanation. I think we should give Clive an extra point for that one. And that 2-month salary was something they specifically chose actually, because they wanted to show that it's something aspirational, but at the same time, it is something that you can reach. So Maitri says, this is like Mad Men before there was Mad Men. Yes, this is exactly like that.
I'm giving 5 points.
Story is precisely for that. Krupa is currently singing the Christina Aguilera version of Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Krupa, do you want us to unmute you if you want to sing it to the rest of the audience?
No.
She says no. Bhargavi says resale values of diamonds is less because the price of the engagement rings is inflated. Yes, it generally is. And that's the whole point about diamonds, that what they do is they artificially control the supply to kind of make diamond appear a little more valuable than it really is. And as on The Good Place, Ted Danson's character Michael famously said, you know, diamonds are basically space poop, meteorite poop. So why are people so obsessed with it when Tahani says that she got the biggest diamond around in the world? So, okay, Krupa is underselling herself, you guys, in terms of singing. She's a great singer. Do check her YouTube channel out. She does put up videos there from time to time. Jatin says, now I know my excuse, diamond is space poop. Okay, people, going to the next question then. Jayant, are you okay in terms of the answers?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So we are moving on to the next question. Of course, this was De Beers and diamond is forever, or diamonds are forever is also something that you've accepted. Okay, this question might require a little bit of lateral thinking. Frédéric Battista, an economist in France in the late 18th century, because the government was stopping free trade, he wrote a sarcastic petition on the behalf of manufacturers of candles, lanterns, sticks, street lamps, all kind of lighting basically at that point of time, generally everything connected with lighting as it says. So he wrote, we are suffering from the ruinous competition of a rival who apparently works under conditions so far superior to our own for the production of light that he is flooding the domestic market at an incredibly low price, basically zero price. So they wanted this competitor banned because they felt that competition was bad for the industry. They want the industry protected. So basically, sarcastically, they were trying to show that why industrial protection or, you know, reducing competition is not a good idea. So who was it that they were asking to be banned? Remember, this was sarcastic, so this was meant as a joke. So who is this competitor? Area of lighting, so think about it a little. So they said this competitor is ruining us because when this competitor is around, people are getting light for basically zero cost, zero price, and that's ruining us, candle makers, lantern makers, and all that.
Jesus.
And the pounce closes now. Frédéric Battista's petition. Louis XIV says Bhargavi. Interesting. Candle makers themselves. Tejas says Pulp Fiction briefcase. That's a good one. It probably is. So I think, Jan, just to help you out here, Jatin, Savitri, Clive, Maitri, all of them have got it right.
1 second, I'm just doing it. Jatin, yes.
Jatin, Savitri, Clive, Maitri, and
yes.
Bhargavi as well.
Yes, so I'll just read out. Archana also has got it right. Bhargavi, Clive, Maitri, Jatin, and Savitri.
Yeah, Ankur came very close, but this was Windows was not the answer. The sun was. You were thinking on the right direction, Ankur. You said Windows because of the sun, but it was just the sun. Krupa with a great creative answer, the Salem witches. who were producing light by themselves. That's a good one. But yes, you guys are right. Krupa says Chubby is hard because it's full of light. Yes, please send all your awes to Krupa right there. That's a great answer. Bhargavi says happy dent. That's a good one. But yes, it was Srinidhi says China. That's a good one too. And banning China right now is in vogue, so why not? But yes, this was the idea that Frederick Batista and gang wanted the sun to be banned because they felt that the sun was the big competitor who was flooding the market with light and driving these other candle makers and lanterns out of business, at least for half of the day. So basically the point he was trying to make was that you cannot wish away competition. Competition only makes things better. So that was kind of the idea. And that's why the sarcastic petition was written. So it's still cited in free trade articles, textbooks, wherever you go, you will probably find a reference to this when trying to explain why trade is a good thing, why competition is a good thing. Okay, moving on to, I think, is it our penultimate question or is it our last question, Jayant? It's the last question, right?
It's the last question.
Okay. Thank you everybody for joining us on this, and it's been absolutely great. Sorry we ran a little bit over time, but I think it was kind of worth it. Here we go, the last question. As the share of streaming revenue goes up, according to an analysis by the magazine Quartz, songs are becoming what? So basically, streaming revenue now contributes over 80% of the total music industry revenue. As you can see on the left graph, CD sales have fallen through the floor and streaming revenue has gone up. On the right side, we have shown what has happened to songs, but obviously we have removed the references on the side. So what has happened to songs? Because generally streaming services pay artists by streams, how many times the song was streamed. So because of this reason, something has happened to songs in general. Over the last few years, as you can see, it coincides with increase in streaming services, especially between 2010 and 2015, and going further. So what exactly happened? Ankur has raised hand, so the pounds closes, but Ankur, we can allow you to give the answer. I'll unmute you. Meanwhile, Jayant, are you checking the answers?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Ankur, go ahead. If your answer is right, of course you get points.
Yeah, so I think you meant shorter, but I wanted to add another interesting fact here. So I read something where, so one important factor for the artist is that if their songs are not hooking in the starting 10-20 seconds, then people usually skip to the next song. So there used to be a tradition in older songs that there used to be long instrumentals at the starting of the song, which have been removed recently because if they don't get into the flow of the song, then people will just skip the song.
Yes, you are absolutely right. Shorter is absolutely correct. And your additional explanation is absolutely brilliant and correct. I think Ankur should get a bonus point right there, Jayant, as well. Because this was a very well explained answer. Thanks, Ankur. And you are absolutely right. The songs have gotten shorter and instrumentals have been taken out. So basically, you need people to get hooked and keep coming back and stream the songs more number of times. So you don't want them to be too long because, you know, if you are Pink Floyd and you have made a 14-minute long song where there is a 9-minute long solo in between, it's great for the purists, but not great for streaming revenue. Maitri says this is exactly the reverse of why Victorian novels were wrong. Maitri, would you want to explain that on the mic? We are unmuting you.
Hey, yeah. So they were paid by the word. So basically, all of our very, very nice writers and novelists who you end up studying very painfully in your literature classes were so fat because the books were so fat because they just added more words so they could get more money. So, yeah.
Okay, another fantastic point. I think Maitri also some bonus points there because this is a terrific explanation of the idea that the basic idea in economics that incentives matter. So people align to incentives. If the incentive is that my song gets played more number of times, and hence is when I get more money, I will make the song shorter to get it played more number of times, like Ankur so explained so very well. And like Maitri explained, this is like the reverse situation of Victorian novels, because generally they were paid by the word. So they were kind of incentivized to make them longer. And Ritvik says, can't, I am unable to can Dickens Oop. That's a good one, Ritvik. I think the noise sticker goes to that one because there was a good joke. But yes, you guys are absolutely right, and fantastic answers on that one. Krupa says the graph is an accurate representation of quality of music. # correlation, not causation. Could be correlation too, Krupa. And of course, as we all know, it's Taylor Swift who is single-handedly keeping that graph up on quality. And Krupa and I both are going to say that you can fight us on this outside of this quiz. Thank you so much, Naveen. Naveen saying brilliant evening, was great fun. Jayant, are we in a position to be able to compile the scores?
Yes, we are, and we have the top 3 finishes also. We are ready with the thing.
All right, fantastic. So, so I will just, I think we'll just close with the answer slide here, and then we can move on to. So this was as you guys rightly explained. So this is time for the podium. Jayant, if you're able to share the screen, you can override this and share your screen. I'm stopping this share for now. Winner is Chubby, says Jayant. Jatin, yes, Jatin, you're absolutely right. Okay, here we go.
So today's winner with 120 points, it's Maitri who finishes at the top.
Oh, fantastic job, Maitri. Well done, congratulations.
Runners up is Tejas with 110. He just missed the last fag end of the things. He missed few questions. And tied at third is Anirudh along with Archana. Each have got 90. So
Sorry
120.
Sorry to hack and barge in. सेकेंड लास्ट क्वेश्चन में आप लोगों ने मुझे काउंट नहीं किया है. मैंने 10 अनआंसर सेकंड भेजा था. एक बार स्क्रॉल अप करके प्लीज चेक करो.
Okay, we'll check it. No problem. No problem. We'll check.
Sorry to barge in. थोड़ा कॉम्पिटिटिव है.
Competitive ज़्यादा क्या होएगा? तो you will finish joint first.
I can take that.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah, who was this?
This is Tejas. He's saying second last question. That is the question on diamonds, was it? No,
the sun answer.
The sun wala answer. Yeah, he's just saying that he had given the answer there. I think we missed out. We can go back on chat and check it. Not a problem. Anyway, we will confirm this because the results will be out on Instagram as well. So we will anyway the chat gets transcribed and archived. So we will go back and take a look at that to make sure that the scoring is all right. As you can imagine, keeping track of these many answers at one go, and you guys have kept the answers and the chat flying in. But nonetheless, thanks a lot for coming in and participating and sparing these 90 minutes with us for this quiz. So congratulations, Maitri, and with an asterisk, maybe Tejas, along with, who was the other one, Jayant? Was it Anirudh?
Anirudh and Archana tied.
Anirudh and Archana tied for the second place. And I think some great stuff from some of the rest.
Third.
Sorry, we're losing you on that, Jayant. Yeah. What was that? Who was third again?
And I mean, 85 points. Third is tied. 90 points is Anirudh and Archana.
And anybody who came close enough to them, maybe missed out by 5 points or so.
That is Clive and Ankur, 85 each.
All right, Clive and Ankur, well done. Ankur, really good answers. Clive, really good answers. Loved your inputs as well. And of course, some edited parts of this might go up on our Instagram as well. So look out for all that there. And in the meantime, thank you so much for being here. I know this was a free quiz, but your time is invaluable. There is an opportunity cost to everything we do. And thank you for taking this time out, which you could have spent doing other stuff. So. And special thanks to Krupa and Tejas for bringing in the chubby cam and the cosplay cam. Next quiz, we hope we get to see even more exciting stuff. And sorry if we did not get everybody to be able to speak. We tried as much. We will, going ahead in future quizzes, try and do so. In the meantime, you can subscribe to our podcast. Look for it on any of the podcasts if you want to support us. Follow us on Instagram if you don't already follow us. Join our next event. You will find out details on Instagram soon. Might not be a quiz, but we do a lot of other events. Sign up for our newsletter. It's called economist.substack.com. And of course, follow us on Twitter if you want to. It's at The Economist. Once again, thank you very much, guys, for joining us and making this season 2 finale absolutely fantastic. Krupa says plus 10,000 for the newsletter. Thanks, Krupa. Maitri says 6 seasons and a movie. Yes, maybe 6 seasons and a movie. We are at the end of only season 2. Thank you, Diksha, and thank you, everyone, and thanks for everybody who joined in. Jayant, quick final words before we close.
Yeah, I mean, thanks, guys, everyone making it on a Saturday. I mean, easily one of the longest quiz in terms of run. Thank you so much for everyone who stayed from the beginning till the end. So hope to catch you guys very soon in this format or Insta format.
Yes, one or the other will be coming your way, and look out for our events as well. So this is Tareque signing off along with Jayant.
See you guys. Take care. Stay safe.
Everybody stay safe, please. Jayant, you can stop the recording now.